for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremations since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. In obituary news this morning, Shirley Faye Morgan, age 82, of Birmingham, died February the 16th at her residence. Graveside service today at 2 o'clock from Green Hill Memorial Gardens in Childersburg, with the Reverend Frank Thomas officiating. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Visitation and funeral services for Vicki Lowe is today at Curtis & Son North. Visitation for Vicki is noon until 2 at the North Chapel. The service is at 2 at the North Chapel in Sylacauga also, with burial in the Talladega Springs Cemetery. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Visitation for Patricia Hogue, age 70, of Talladega. That service will be Saturday, visitation noon until 2 at Curtis & Son North, with funeral service to follow at 2, with burial in the Tallahatchie Cemetery. Patricia retired from Coosa Valley Co-op and served as president of the Ribbons of Hope Cancer Foundation. In lieu of flowers, contribution in Patricia's memory may be made to the Ribbons of Hope Foundation, Inc., 800 Shelton Shores Drive, Talladega, Alabama, 35160, or online ribbonsofhopeal.org. Online condolences at curtisonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Patricia C. Delaney, age 67, died February the 16th. A memorial service will be held at Ohatchee Church of Christ today at 4 p.m. In lieu of flowers, the family has requested donations be made to the National Kidney Foundation. Online condolences at ursrefuneralhome.com. Ursre Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Maud Sarah Garrett, age 97, is noon Saturday at New Maryland Cemetery, a church cemetery, with the Reverend Eric D. Richardson and the Reverend Flora Alexander officiating. Visitation today at Terry's Mortuary from 2 until 7, and Saturday at Mount Zion CME Church from 10 until 11. In lieu of flowers, donation can be made in her memory, to the Mount Zion CME Church, Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Graveside service for the Reverend Leonard Raglan Wright is 1 o'clock Tuesday, February 23rd at Holy Hill Church Cemetery in Lincoln. Bishop Truss officiating. Sims Funeral Service directing. Celebration of life for Severia Hollenquist, age 74, will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga. Bishop Ike Square officiating. Interment in the Jesus Saved Deliverance Temple Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation today, 2 until 7 at the funeral home. Ms. Hollenquist died February 3rd at Princeton Baptist Medical Center in Birmingham. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Graveside service for Yolanda Thomas will be Monday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. from Lily Roden Cemetery in Childersburg. Visitation on Sunday from 1 until 7 at the funeral home. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Celebration remembering the life of Mrs. Tina Lee Brooks, age 79, of Talladega, will be today at 1 p.m. from S.M. Goodson Funeral Home Chapel, with the Reverend Samuel Holt officiating. Interment in the Midway Memory Garden Cemetery. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory, directing. Celebration remembering the life of Mr. Andrew Jones, age 78, of Talladega, will be Saturday at 1 from Midway Memory Gardens, with the Reverend Percy Welch officiating. Public viewing is today, 1 until 4 at the funeral home. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory, Talladega, directing. Funeral arrangements will be announced for Miss Tammy Thomas, age 44, of Lincoln. S.M. Goodson announcing those arrangements, as well as arrangements for Mrs. Linda Turner, age 64, of Munford. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory announcing. Funeral service for Mrs. Stella Russell Jackson, age 77, of Alexander City. There'll be a private funeral service with visitation Sunday, 4 until 7 at the funeral home. Armour's Memorial Funeral Home, directing. Graveside service for Mr. Perry Neil Anderson, age 84, of Alexander City, is Saturday at noon from Hillview Memorial Park, with Randy Anderson officiating. The family will receive friends Saturday 10 until 11:30 at the funeral home. Mr. Anderson died Tuesday, February the 16th at his residence. Radley Funeral Home, Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Mrs. Martha Ganola Adamson Strickland, age 90, of Alexander City, will be Wednesday, February 24th at 2 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home. Reverend Wayne Cowhick officiating. Burial in the Bethel South Baptist Cemetery. The family will receive friends next Wednesday from 12:30 until 1:30 at the funeral home. Ms. Strickland died February 17th at Shelby Baptist Medical Center, Radley Funeral Home directing. And Nancy Ann Presley Beckham, age 63, of Childersburg, died February the 18th at her residence, Radley Smith Funeral Home announcing. And funeral service for Maxine Wynn, age 79, of Sylacauga, is Saturday at 2 from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Brother Donald Grice officiating. Mrs. Wynn died February 17th at Albertville Nursing Home. Visitation Saturday 1 until 2 at the funeral home. And Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.